What up, gamers? Sitting here at work. Figured I'd take a break because I just saw that the ban list dropped. I'm looking at it and I can already see, because of the way that it's listed with the alphabetical, that Scythe and the barrier statue are now banned. That's interesting because, like, I don't think anyone saw Scythe coming, right? Because with like with Hulk banned and Verte banned, there really wasn't like a consistent way to access Scythe anymore. I think the best way to do it was to send it off of something like Beatrice and then either reborn it with Baron or the rank 6. This completely changes how I was planning on playing Virtual World. But that's not a problem because I hate Scythe. I'm so glad to see it gone. And the barrier statue is great. I mentioned in my short that I made that I was really hoping that this was coming to Mirror Master Duel. Let's scroll down a little bit. I did see one other banned card spoiled for me from a thumbnail, but Maxi is still there, so that's good. Let's keep going. Ronin Toad's still banned. Rest in peace. There it is. Tearlaments Kit Kalos. It took the OCG forever to finally ban this thing. And it came with a bunch of limits and semi-limits in the deck. And it's still seeing huge representation in the OCG. So I don't know if this is going to kill Tearlament, but goodness, it makes the deck a lot harder to play. Because they were having to jam King of the Swamp to replace Kit Kalos as one of the fusion materials. And I'm hoping that we see more hits to tier, but this is an excellent start. If this is all they do to tier, I think this is enough to keep it from being tier 0 anymore, but it's still going to be good. Any links banned? They banned Elf? What the heck? Why? Oh man, I have an Elf too. I traded for it. Oh man, it's just, this is what happens when you make archetypal cards too generic, right? Because, make Elf, send Merly is just, or no, that's Sprint. Make Elf, reborn Merly, or, use your Toad Negate, reborn it with Elf. Oh man, that's so sad. Now I have a useless Elf sitting in my binder. Let's keep going. It's been a while since I've been able to actually scroll through the ban list. Usually the page doesn't update very quickly. No synchros, no exes. Any new spells banned? Doesn't look like it. Any traps banned? Nope, doesn't look like it. Trap Dust Juice still banned. Heavy Storm is still banned, so he can rest easy. So, just thinking about the bans so far, I think they've hit Flu, they've hit Sprite, and they've hit Tier. So I think those are the 3 best decks. Kashtira is probably going to be the best deck now, I would imagine. Or at the very least, it's going to be in contention with some other very strong decks. Let's see what else they've done. A Guido to 1. That is not the ISHIZU hit I thought, but that's still a good one. I don't actually know if Guido's one of the good ones. I can't remember. But any of the ISHIZU cards on here, I'm going to be happy with. Are all of them on here? Kelbeck and Keldo are on here too. And Mudora, they all went to 1. What? They're They're not even a year old. They came out like a few months ago. And now they're all at one? That's unbelievable. It's like the dangers all over again. Havness, Murley, and Sheeran to one? This really is just Dragon Rulers all over again. Holy crap. Speaking of Dragon Rulers, there's Tempest right below the tearlaments. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. The names are really the problem. But man, they basically destroy Tearlament. Holy crap. Yep, Ancient Fairy Dragon is here because of its errata. But it seems like it's on the same track as Firewall Dragon was, because it is the only card on here whose limited status only takes place after a reprint that introduces an errata. So we won't be able to play with Ancient Fairy Dragon until the 10th of March, which is fine. Any newly limited spell cards? Nope. Nothing other than Ancient Fairy Dragon coming off to one, so that's interesting. The entirety of the limited list, aside from Ancient Fairy Dragon, is all just ISHIZU tier hits. Like, the only Tearlament's main deck monster, I think, that hasn't been limited is Rhino Heart, which is insane. But it's also the only one that can't fusion summon, so milling it is really not the best. The fact that all the ISHIZU cards are limited too is insane. Good gracious. That's crazy. I'm interested to see if they'll still see play with like 90% of the deck limited and the best extra deck monster banned. What semis do we got? No new semi-limits, but I think some things came off the semi-limited list, so let's take a look. Destrudo to 3. I don't know about that one. Destrudo is extremely strong, but it was really only as strong as the things it could go into. I think the best thing you can do with it is like Yazi. Ancient Fairy Dragon being limited might be a problem, especially with Pseudospace at 1. I think that Destrudo is a problem if you print level 7 synchros that are just too good, or if you print too much good stuff to do with synchros. It's strong, but will it see play? We'll have to see. Okay, so all right, let's go one at a time. All right, Jet Synchron to 3. That makes sense. It was only banned because of Hulk. Mecha Phantom Beast O-Line, same thing. Servant to 3. Tripp's gonna lose his mind. Okay, True King Lithosagum. He's at 3. Cool. I guess. Yada to 3. That makes sense. Spiral Resort to 3. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Spiral is decent in Master Duel, but they have access to Master Plan. With Master Plan banned, the deck probably could have pretty much all of its cards off the list, and it would still be bad. And that's it. That's the end of the ban list. So, just kind of final thoughts. Really glad to see Scythe gone. Really glad to see the barrier statue of the Stormwinds gone. It's interesting because if they print more decks that can utilize the barrier statues, I could see more of them getting banned. Maybe even like the Earth one or the Water one could get banned. But the Wind one being playable in Flu is just terrible. Kit Kalos ban, great. I'm a little sad to see Elf go. I'm trying to build Sprite right now, and the fact that Elf is now banned is... it's sad. It's very sad. And seeing all of the ISHIZU tier main decks, aside from Rhino, limited, well, I think it's nice as somebody, if you're somebody that doesn't like the current tier 0 format. I really do think that the TCG took note from what was going on in the OCG and just went for blood, just went for the jugular when it came to ISHIZU Tearlament, because you can't give this deck a slap on the wrist, because if you give it an inch, it will take a mile. And taking it out back, killing off its best extra deck monster, putting all of the main deck monsters on probation, that seems to be the best possible way to keep this deck from being the best deck. I would be surprised if people still try to jam it. I mean, people are probably still going to try to make it the best deck because so many people invested in this core. It's tough to want to just give that up. Man, with Servant to 3, I really want to play it. I really want to play Endymion Magician. Oh man, that's so cool. Servant's like the best card. That is crazy. I think that Servant is the one card they could have unlimited that I would have been excited about enough for me not to care that other stuff hasn't come off. Because like the rest of this is just whatever. Like the only other card that could possibly cause any problems is maybe Spiral Resort. But Spiral is just nothing without Master Plan. Like it's not even like a consistency issue. Like the ceiling of it is just lower. But yeah, that seems kind of nuts, man. Jeez. Crazy ban list. Feels like out of nowhere. Again, next update will be in a few months. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yeah, that's it for this video, I guess. I'm gonna get back to work. See you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What deck are you going to be playing now that ISHIZU Tearlament was taken out to the shed and shown its place? Personally, I'm going to continue to just play whatever. See you guys in the next one.